Well, good evening, everybody. This is Craig Blanchett, and it is actually my pleasure to welcome you. This is our weekly Health Coach Huddle. It starts at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. That would be 8:30 for you folks on the East Coast. You know who you are. And what we do is we start this right after the Optavia Leadership Coach Call, and that starts at 5 p.m. or 8 Eastern. And it's usually what we do is we listen to that call together, and then we jump over onto this call, and we have our skill development, our Q&A. We usually have a topic. But one of the biggest things that we like to do here on our huddle is build community with each other, learn from each other, grow together. And so if this is your first time joining us, I wanted to say welcome to you. We'll actually have you introduce yourself here in a minute. But for those of you that want to watch the recording of this video later, I post this to our Facebook. It's called Optimal Health Coach. It's our Facebook group. And so I will post it there each week. And one of the things that we recommend is that you have a notepad and a pen and take some notes, because if you think about it, we've got 15 people on here. So for this 30 minutes, you times that times 15, because there's potential to learn something from everybody here. And so if you have your pen with you, and that somebody says something that's powerful or that triggers something, write that down, because if you're like me, those ahas vanish quickly unless you write them down. And so if you are on this meeting for the first time, I'd like to have you unmute yourself and introduce yourself. What's your name? Who invited you? And give us just a little something you're excited about for your health. I think Nadine, if you've been here before, I'm just going to pick on you because it hasn't been very many times that you have.
Hi there, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hi, I'm Nadine Shields, and Jose invited me, and it's been interesting. I listened to the previous half hour, and I thought that was pretty neat. So, yeah, I'm totally new to this whole thing.
Great. Well, welcome. That's excellent.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming. And Mary, I know you've been here before, but Mary was homesick today, and so she was able to tune in and hang out with us. Yeah, so nice to see you again, Mary. And let's see, Dawn and Tina. All you guys are, it looks like everybody else has been here before. And welcome back, Carrie. She reminded me this wasn't the first time. So I'm going to toss this over to Carrie Armstrong now. No, it's not. You're not pitching. You're shaking your head. No.
I think I was going to do the intros for new people, I thought.
Oh, well, I just stole that.
But I was talking to,
so
I was talking, I know you did such a good job.
Thank you.
No, Ashley is here now, so it's awesome. We got that figured out.
Sweet. Well, that's great. So we've all, well, fortunately, she'll be able to, if she has trouble next week, she'll be able to get right in.
I know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, Carrie. Actually, I'm going to toss it over to Jose. And Jose actually listened to the leadership call tonight, which was very timely. And it's some of the things over the last few weeks that we've been talking about. So I thought that was excellent. So I'm going to toss it to Jose and give us a little bit of highlights and takeaways that he personally had from that. So welcome, Jose. And I'll unmute you. There we go.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thumbs up?
There.
Okay, great. Tonight was packed with a lot of information. And it started out with Jared and Amber Smithson. And right off the back, it was real heart in this business. She was part of the tech team on Optavia Connect. And the feeling of significance is so important, she was mentioning, seeing the number of lives impacted. So right after that, she went right into her first part, which is starting with the why. That speaks to me right off the back, because the why is what got me here. And the why is what's going to help me help others. The second part, connecting small group steps, most important, the Dr. A interjected, he said, baby steps when it comes to the why. The second part of Jared and Amber was, it's better for the coaches to surround themselves with the like-minded people. And what is creating was mentioned of a leadership book, a leadership paradigm, and they talked about the science behind it and the molecules, the cells, and everything going in different directions. And they were trying to connect. And what I got out of it was the connecting part of being like-minded. There's people going to be in the business, they're going to be in the program, and they're going to leave. And our job is not to get bogged down by the guilt or shame or shouldas or couldas. Can you hear me? Okay. And so that resonated to me right away, because I want to be around like-minded people, positive people with attitudes of gratitude. And one of the most touching moments is when Amber was talking about her mom, how her mom was loving and didn't give up on them. And even though after they lost 90 pounds, the mom was, she was there. And look where they are now. She even paused for effect because what she was saying. So that kind of touched me and resonated with me right away. And the last part that I want to cover is when Jared and Amber were talking about the IQA in identifying the people, qualifying what will bring them, what will bring to them, what we bring to them. Don't be shy from those who seem successful, because we only see what's on the outside, but we don't know what's on the inside. And of course, the approach. Then you have two types of approaches, the indirect and direct. The indirect is you're not tethered to whether they get in or not, and it's very relieving. And then there's the direct, by what you hear, listen, and what you pick up on what they're saying. And I'll finish up with the last thing that they did is don't forget to follow up. Don't leave people hanging. There's so much information here. I'll toss it back over to you, Craig.
Yeah, that was perfect. And it's I liked when she said, why do we coach? And I thought that was a great question to ask, because if we think about, we're talking about sponsoring. We're talking about finding people that want to coach like we do and inviting them. And sometimes that can feel like we're trying to go get people. We're trying to convince them they should coach when they don't want to. And I like when they talked about what is if you understand the reason why you coach and why coaching is good for you, and then you understand why coaching helps other people stay in their zone, then you're not feeling like you're trying to convince somebody. You're actually doing something that could serve them. And so I'm curious what you guys, when you're thinking about that, when you think about talking about coaching or offering coaching or exploring coaching with somebody, what that looks like in your mind, and if you think it's of value to them or not. I think that will affect your actions. What do you guys think? Anybody?
Wait, Craig, repeat that question.
Well, the question is when we talk about coaching, if we understand why we're doing it, why it's a good thing for us, and why it might be a good thing for somebody that we're talking to. If we understand why first, why creates value, and when there's something of value, we want to talk about it, right? And so if we're not talking about it, have we talked about value? So I'm just wondering, as you're thinking through that, what's your apprehension, or why are you excited about exploring partnering up with people with coaching?
You know what? I know Jose's already been on, but he has a lot to say about whys. But before Jose adds something, maybe Martin and I have had many conversations because I have a friend from another company, another organization that is quite a lovely company, but she continues, like, her approach to me is just, I'm just out of my mind. You know, this is a friend that I've loved, and you know what? I don't want to sound bitter or anything, but if I never talk to her again, I don't even care. You know why, everybody? I mean, it's not because she's not doing what you just said. Finding out, Leanne, what is it that makes you tick? What do you enjoy? What drives you? What do you want to do with people? What do you want to do in your life? It's all about what she wants me to do, what she thinks.
Interesting.
You know what? She has never asked me, what is it that you want to accomplish? And do you even want to do what I'm asking you to do? I don't even.
Yeah.
And
no,
Martin would say, how does that make you feel?
Yeah. Those
Not
are
good.
those are good points, and I wonder if sometimes that's why we don't offer it, because maybe we're offering it when we haven't done those things. Carrie, I know you had your hand up there. Carrie Armstrong.
Yeah, I was just thinking that one of the things they said and Jose touched on was just not being attached to the outcome of the conversation. And something that has been helpful for me and taken pressure off myself and hopefully off the people I talk to is just knowing why I coach, what it can do for other people, and then making sure that they know that, and then it's up to them. But if you never even tell them about it, because if you tell them about it, it's up to you after that whether it's going to be weird or not. Just kind of leave it out there. But if you don't tell them, then I don't know. I would have missed out on a lot if Dawn hadn't stepped out and just said, what do you think? Oh, I don't know.
I love that word you used, can. What coaching can do. And then if what it can do is something you're looking for, then that makes sense. And if it's not something you're looking for, that makes, okay, now we know, I think that makes sense. You have such a non-trapping way of just sharing what this is. So like your hand's fully open. You say, this is coaching. Does this look interesting to you? And some say yes and some say no. And you just open-handed about it. Okay, here it is. Take it or leave it. Christina, you had your hand up.
I was just going to say that, I posted a while back, like I was able to pay for a Hansen trip because of being a health coach, and that I can take it anywhere. I can take it to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I can take it to Hawaii. I can take it to anywhere, and I can go see those places and enjoy them, but also know that like coaching got me there because of coaching, I was able to experience and explaining it. Coaching can do this. Like, it did it, coaching did that for me, and it's continuing to do that for me. And I just find that when I look at somebody and I'm like, ooh, health coach material, I don't say that to them, but like, I think health coach material, my instant thought is I'm seeing a lot of characteristics in people that I already work with in that person. And I'm like, that is where it's at right there,
Mm-hmm.
So I just find that when I'm looking at somebody, I don't instantly see client or coach. I just go, I want to get to know you. I'm curious about you.
Mm-hmm.
I really am curious about you. So let's talk about that, and people think I'm trying to sell them something, and it's not about selling them anything, to be honest, this product sells itself, but it's not about that. It's about forming relationships and having them and being like, hey, we're friends now. I like that. I like that I'm your friend, and I like that you're my friend, that's what I enjoy about it for sure.
That's great. Awesome. Well, we're a little bit, this is a great topic, and that was a packed leadership call. But at this point, we're going to jump over to Dawn Carpenter, and she's going to talk a little bit about our assignment. One of the things you guys may start to realize is every week we try to give you an assignment that you just do for the week. And so if you just kind of follow with the group and just work on that one thing, you may do other things, but if you guys can focus on the one thing that we're doing as a group, we're trying to build sort of a momentum in a specific direction. So Dawn Carpenter, you are up.
All right. Awesome, guys. Yeah, I love all the discussion, and I love that people are feeling more and more comfortable to share their heart here at our meetings. That's really awesome. So anyway, last week we talked about leading with our own health and trying to be really intentional about that, whether that's sharing things on Facebook or just, being out there in the real world, being that healthy person that you are. And so I'm kind of curious about, how did that go this week? Were there some things that you were able to do that just, you could kind of live your health out loud a little bit?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Lynn-Ann.
I miss you, Dawn. I love you. Okay. You know what? Where I am in Florida, I love getting out in the morning and taking my dog, and there's other dog walkers or people that don't have dogs that are dog lovers, and just engaging people. And, very quickly you get into conversations, hey, how far do you walk in here? Where do you go? I go all the way to the back. And, people that have like a totally planned out thing. And that leads to, well, what else are you doing? Like, gosh, did you eat breakfast before you came out this morning? Or do you eat later? And are you drinking your water? And it kind of builds. And so it's a natural setting to start talking about health and just learning about people. And I loved what Christina said. I mean, just connecting, creating relationships, getting to be friends with people. So I can recognize people by name now, and it's quite lovely. And who knows where that will go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's living out loud on the sidewalk in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Anyone else have something to share? All right. Well, I'm sure there were a lot of things you were doing. I know I heard this week a couple stories about Girl Scout cookies and making some awesome choices around those. And I'm sure Tina's doing some great healthy things out there, enjoying her location right now. So, just kind of be aware of that and really, striving to be that healthy person that you are out in public and on social media. So I know that we are like 1 minute away from the top of the hour, but because of our late start, I guess I'm going to take a quick poll. How many of you are willing to stick with us for another, say, 10 minutes? Anybody? Can? Okay. So it looks like we've got a good bunch. So what I'm going to say is that if you need to pop off, we totally understand that. For those of you who can hang with us a little bit longer, I'd love to kind of go a little bit more into some of the things we had planned for tonight. So I'm just going to kind of plow ahead. So one of the things we wanted to talk about was our company compliance. So as health coaches, we all agree to abide by our company's compliance statement. And basically, it just kind of sets a standard for us to be just functioning at a high level of integrity. And so one of the things that they have asked for us to do is whenever we post a picture that has a before and after, or here's where I started and here is where I am now, as health coaches, we're required to put the compliance statement there. And so Craig's put that in the chat for us. So basically it just says average weight loss for clients on the Optimal 5-in-1 plan with support is 20 pounds. Clients in weight loss are in weight loss for an average of 12 weeks. So that little statement is at the bottom. So as you're sharing your good news, that can be, as I said, your before and after picture, your before and now picture, but it also needs to be pictures that show any other weight loss comparison. So for instance, some of you might have seen like the sugar shots that people do, where they have like big bags of sugar that show how many pounds they lost, or bag of dog food or something else like that. You just want to make sure that those compliance statements are on there. Now, if you're a guest tonight and you're a client and you want to share about your weight loss, don't even worry about that. You just can post away and share your good news. But as a coach, that's one of the standards we agree to. Yes, Craig.
Yeah, and one of the things too is just so we can help. See, one of the challenges is if we put a picture out there and we are a coach and it doesn't have the disclaimer on it, that picture can be very easily captured and then sent off somewhere else, and pretty soon it's like out in the wilderness. And so one of the things that you can do is if you see a picture of somebody and you know they're a coach on our team, just send them a private message and say, hey, I didn't see the disclaimer, because we're all trying to cover our back. If one of the coaches doesn't have the disclaimer on, the FCC can sue our company, and then we have to pay fines and do all that kind of things. And so that's just wasted money. So ultimately, if you forgot to post it and someone says, hey, I didn't see the disclaimer, just go, thanks for making me better, right? I'll go change that and then take down the photo or replace it with one of compliance. So I don't mind. Sometimes I forget. And so if you see something of mine that doesn't have it on it, let me know, please. Right?
Yeah.
Let's have this environment where we're all going to be helping each other.
Exactly. Yes. I think we can all help remind each other. And then one other little piece kind of connected to that is just be aware that when we have our client page is a closed group. And so then that means that the people who are in that group are expecting that information is only shared with those people. And so if you have a client in that group or you notice somebody in that group that just posts something awesome that you want to share in your Facebook line, make sure you ask their permission first and make sure that if it's something that needs a compliance statement, you add the compliance statement to it. So enough said about that. Let's kind of get to the heart of what we do. We really are about connecting with people and loving on people and just seeing if what we have to offer is something that they can benefit from. And so we're going to do a quick breakout room activity. And so if you got your piece of paper, which I hope you do, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to write down just 5 people who are on your heart that might need something we offer. They might need health in their mind or their body or in their finances. And so, ready, set, write.
You're going to let me know when to open the breakout room, right?
Okay, you might have 5 down, you might not yet. But here's what we're going to do with that next is Craig's going to put us into breakout rooms, so you'll have a partner. Introduce yourself to your partner, and then I want you to take turns, kind of think about ping pong. So one partner shares about one of the people that they put on their list and why that person's on their heart, and then the other person shares their number 1 person. And then share your number 2, and the other person shares their number 2. That way, we'll both get some time to share about some of those people that we just really care about and we'd love to connect with and help. So you ready to put us in rooms, Craig? Okay. So when you see the message, just join. Me.
Yes, exactly. Family, close friends,
Mm-hmm.
How about for you?
Yeah, my family, again, was the first people that I wanted to help when I first started coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been just an absolute joy to see some of them really transform their health along with me. And I kind of started from a not as healthy spot. I lost 40 pounds.
You did? Okay.
Really, just really redid how I do life, in a lot of different ways. So
was it eating and exercise and that sort of thing?
It really started out with Craig's my coach. So it really started out with the support of an awesome coach.
Okay.
And just working on changing habits, just one little step at a time. Simple nutrition plan. You know, then we gradually added exercise in, and it's definitely been a journey. And then just learning to think different about food and health and how we celebrate and everything else that we do.
Okay. Right.
Yeah. So it's been a game changer for me.
Oh.
So, yeah, absolutely. So
Awesome.
a lot of my family's already kind of gotten on with their health and are doing really well. So the first name that popped in my head was my pastor's wife.
Okay.
And she doesn't have a ton of weight to lose, but she struggles from fibromyalgia. And it just so kind of heartbreaking to see some of the struggles she has, you know, and she covers them pretty well, but those of us who know her better, you know,
right, exactly.
Would love for her not to have those issues, you know. So yeah, absolutely. Craig, who's on your heart?
Oh, I've been thinking about people that are my old racing buddies, you know, and people that I don't know very well, but that I used to race with. And then I just went to a race, a local fun event, and I got, you know, these people that are chiropractors and massage therapists and stuff. And, you know, and so I'm literally going to go in there. These people care about health. They care about helping other people. And so going and connecting. This guy here gave me a little massage on my forearm and was really excited about muscles. And so I just want to connect with this guy and find out, you know, more about, obviously he's into those things. So those are the big things. It's just the practical nature that I know we have something in common because they're in a field already where they're helping people, you know, and then finding out more about that. And so that's been the big thing for me. By the way, Nadine, I know that Jose invited you to come. And so you may not even know too much about, it's a lifestyle philosophy that we talk about. And Optavia stands for the optimal way. And so it's more like it's like the Optavia way, if you will, of how to structure life around living in a healthy body and having healthy relationships. And so we can talk more about the details because there's lots of little tools and little mechanics of things that we do, but it's all under sort of this philosophy of wellness and well-being.
Okay.
And so it's really fun. So
well, thanks for letting me join tonight.
it's great.
We're so glad that you
did actually really well.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and feel free to come back. We meet every day.
Okay.
5:30. Love to have you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm wondering. We got about 5 minutes to go until we're going to close up, so you're welcome to stay till the end.
Okay.
Okay.
There you are. They'll be coming back here shortly.
First, huh?
Say that again.
I said we were the first ones back.
Yep.
I'm surprised.
Yep. They'll be joining us back here soon. A lot of people dove out when we went to the breakout rooms because we were a little bit late tonight as well. So.
Could be.
So I'll list the follow-up stuff in the on the Optimal Health Coach page when I post the video.
That would be great.
And then and you can go over them now with people. I'll put it in the chat as well, so people can see it there too.
Sounds great. Awesome. Well, there comes a few more.
So when you guys come back, you're automatically muted. So if you're called on, you're going to want to unmute yourself locally.
Okay, so welcome back, everybody. So anyone want to share? How did that go? How did that feel talking about people you care about?
Oh my gosh, super fun. I have to jump in.
Okay.
So fun. Oh my gosh, and Carrie, what a dear heart, and Bessie. And, you know, I mean, just hearing their their hearts. And we all talked about somebody in our family, you know, my cousin, her daughter, I mean, both of their daughters, I think. And you love them. And what was coming to the surface, you know what? It just would be fun. What a blast it would be to lock arms with them and have a better connection and a better relationship and a better bonding, and you're having a great time and kind of like helping other people. That's like kind of like a secondary, you know, the first thing is let's us get together and have a good time, you know? I loved it.
Exactly. Anyone else want to share? Trish?
Martin gave me some really good feedback of how to talk to my lifelong friend who we've had some maybe jealousy issues, if that makes sense. So he gave me some really good ideas of how to talk to her about how to get healthier and maybe make some life changes.
Awesome. Anyone else?
You know, I'll share one that Terry Miller mentioned to me when we're nervous about sharing with people. I mean, for example, let's say you've lost 50 pounds or 100 pounds, right? And you've been able to learn not just how to lose it, but how to keep it off. And you're nervous about talking to a friend of yours because you're afraid that they might take it wrong. And Terry Miller said, hey, I just wanted to, I just figured I needed to get over myself and take the risk of offending you, because I felt that if you knew that I had lost 100 pounds and learned how to keep it off and didn't share that with you, that might be offensive, because I care about you after all. And so I decided to take a risk of offending you because I was in a no-win situation, and I figured I would err on the side of helping you rather than keeping it quiet. And to me, that sounds so genuine and real, and because it is, right? So,
yeah. Jose?
Piggybacking on Craig's comment, I've been a health nut all my life and through the Marines, and my family knows that. And what Dawn Weber and Mary and I just shared, we shared our hearts about our family members and friends. And so how do I do that, Craig? You know, I haven't lost, but maybe 6 pounds at a time. It's just to get my, you know, twisted steel abs, you know, 6-pack, 12-pack, you know, whatever. But, you know, how do I approach my niece, who's very delicate subject, and she's about 350 pounds, and she had a stomach clamp put on, or a belt or a band, and it didn't work. She's back to a big size again. So how do I approach a sensitive subject like that?
That is a great question. Do you want to field that one, Coach?
no, I'm curious what you guys have, how you guys.
Okay.
I have my opinions, but I'm
I want
curious.
to jump in on that one.
Say that again.
I said, anybody want to jump in and give Jose some information from your perspective? Okay, I'll risk it. I think what I would do, Jose, is just love on her, you know, connect with her. I don't know how close you are. I mean, is she somebody that you talk to on a regular basis or once a year?
It's mainly family gatherings, and it's not, we see each other, we interact with each other. We have a few things in common, but, you know, I will make it this Easter Sunday. I'll be heading out that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make it a bold move and just love on them, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, you know, actually that leads us really right into what our action step is. We've got a nice little tracker. Craig's going to put the link for it in our chat. He'll also post it on our team wall. But it's just, you can't see it. Okay, so it's just basically a little grid. And there's spaces to write the names. And then it just helps you keep track of those. Thanks, Craig. Obviously, he's using his. Looks great. So just spaces to keep track. So like the first column is, are we even friends on Facebook? Now, if you're family, you probably are already friends with them on Facebook. You know, and then, so just a little progression of ways that you can kind of just touch into their life and connect with them. Not with the idea that necessarily you're going to be able to partner with them with health, but just to love and care on them and look for those opportunities, because it seems like as we build relationship with people and they start to see more and more, thanks, Craig, for putting that up for us. As they see more and more of, you know, what we post on Facebook, and that they watch our lives and they see we're leading with our health, you know, health comes up. And that can give us an opportunity to just share a little bit of our heart and our heart for them as well. And so I would really encourage you to use the tracker this week and just be really intentional about connecting with those people who are on your heart. Again, not with any agenda, but just to love and care on them and see what happens.
Well, so, Dawn, as you're saying that, the likelihood that they're as healthy as they wish they were is really small. So just
exactly, and the likelihood that you're going to hear something about a health need of theirs, and you're going to be able to talk about that, is huge. You know, it's going to happen.
That's what I would say for you, Jose. Same thing. Is as you're talking to this person, find out what they wish was better. Or about what they're excited about, what's something that they wish was better, and ask them why. Find out what's going on inside of them, and tell them, hey, you're working on solving that yourself. Figuring out how to make that work yourself, whatever it is, because you are most likely. We're all working on stuff,
right?
And if people really understand that you want to partner and you're not talking down, like I can fix you, nobody wants that. Because we're all working on stuff ourselves. We're all the same, right? And the details, I might be working on exercise, you might be working on, you know, sleep, but we're all working on bettering our health, you know, so.
Absolutely. All right, so that's our challenge for this week, is to just really reach out and care on those 5 people and beyond if you would like to, but be intentional with at least those 5, and try out that little tracking sheet and see what you think of it. And we'd love to hear your feedback next week. All right, thanks for hanging with us longer than usual, and have an awesome week, everyone. All right, take care.
Thank you.
See ya.